Amici del rock and roll, amici della buona musica, ben ritrovati sul canale. Questa settimana ci vogliamo dedicare alla grande musica, quindi riapriamo questa città virtuale che è Rocksville, all'interno della quale ci piace trattare con rispetto la musica, dare spazio a chi si sta costruendo una carriera, ma contemporaneamente, quando ne abbiamo la possibilità, incontrare gigantesche personalità che una carriera nell'ambito della musica se la sono costruita, come in questo caso, più di 40 anni fa. Per me è un gigantesco piacere, è un onore oggi avere a che fare con un artista che, oltre a essere un songwriter eccezionale, ha un rapporto molto particolare con il nostro paese. Nei prossimi giorni avrà una serie di date qui in Italia, un paese nel quale viene molto spesso, adesso capirete perché. Please welcome the one and only Willie Nile. Hi Willie.
Hello, nice to see you, Andrea. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, thank you. It's a huge pleasure. First of all, welcome back to Italy. What about this beautiful relation you have with our country?
I love being here. I came here yesterday. I was on tour in Spain, and I came into Italy in 1992 for the first time, and I toured solo. And it was so, for me, there's no place on earth like Italy because a friend of mine says they don't call it the cradle of civilization for nothing. The art, the history, the beauty, the food, the wine. It's amazing. And the people are fantastic for me. Passionate, genuino, uh, interessante. They're interesting, but they have passion, especially rock and roll passion. Life is short. So while we're here, I want to feel it. I want to taste it. I want to live it and share it with friends and fans and family. And I feel that in Italy. I feel the love here when I play very much.
Well, we as Italian fan of good rock music, I can just say yes, this is us. But at the same time, I'm always surprised when there's the chance to bring some kind of songwriting to our country. I mean, there's a huge tradition of Americana music. Obviously, Italy, it's a place that embraced the music of Bruce Springsteen, of Bob Dylan through the years,
Yeah.
and we're gonna get to there. But it's important to have this legacy going, because if we just keep listening to the old records, I mean, they are great records, they're brilliant records, but they're stuck there. We just need new music, and you're such a prolific artist. That's a
Mm.
remarkable thing.
I agree with you. I mean, I love all the old music. I still listen. Classic is classic, whether it's Bob Dylan, the Ramones, the Clash, Springsteen, Chuck Berry, whatever. And I'm always great is great. Whether it's new or old, if it's quality, I love music. And for the thing is, life is still real. Um, uh, Even though some of the artists from years ago are gone, we are still alive. We still feel the happiness, the sorrow that life brings, all of the above, and we can translate that into songs and music. And for me, music helps me understand, and there's salvation and redemption in rock and roll, in music. When I play, these shows that I'm doing this week, uh, every song, every night, I will sing my soul, sing my heart out, and it's so satisfying, gratifying, meaningful. So on new music, yeah, I mean, I've been very lucky. I put two albums out in 2020 and 2021. During COVID, two albums, New York at Night and The Day the Earth Stood Still. And I have another new album that I've written and I've started to record. So the songs are still coming, and I'm very lucky and happy about it.
I'm happy too, because especially the last record, I really loved it. There's so much passion into it, and when I see younger generation, we're on Twitch now. We're on Twitch now. That it's a brand new platform where young generation used to come together and talks about their life's
Mm,
experiences and stuff like that. But I think that constancy, it's a gift. I
mm.
mean, being able to, keep going, fighting for what you really want. It's kind of a gift in a society like nowadays that just gives you the super fast gratification or the super
Mm.
fast closed doors. Do you think so?
Absolutely. I mean, I like things that are real, that are meaningful. And whether it's short and quick, okay, or if it's long and deep, I'm still learning. I've been doing this for uh, many years, making music, writing songs, and it still means so much to me. So I don't think it makes a difference at all how new or old. If it's good, if it's great, I'm in. You know, yeah.
Probably one of the hardest thing when we consider being prolific and being constant in music, it's find
Mm,
inspiration. When we talk about songwriting, obviously we talk about, there's another word that we can maybe use to describe some kind of musician music, that it's storytelling.
mm.
Storytelling, it's deeply connected with the heart of songwriting. Which are your favorite stories to tell in your songs?
Well, what I like all the stories for different reasons. I like stories that are real, whether it's love, happiness, uh, a prayer for someone that's now no more here. I wrote I like writing about real things. There's a song on my album New York at Night called Earth Blues, and it's about the climate, and uh, California's burning, and the lyrics are what's happening now, and I think is going to get worse and worse. And I like writing about real things. On the album The Day the Earth Stood Still, that song is about the lockdown in New York. In New York City, if you said to me that New York City would be a ghost town, I would have thought you were crazy. But during lockdown, I would walk outside. I live in Greenwich Village in New York City, and I would walk out in the street, nobody, maybe one or two people, no cars. It was so interesting, fascinating. And The Day the Earth Stood Still, that song was about that story. There's a song on the album that Steve Earle, the great Texas singer-songwriter, sang on a duet with me called Blood on Your Hands. And that
Beautiful.
song,
I love that song, and I
thank
love
you.
Steve too.
That song is about, Trump and the 1 million people in the United States died of COVID because of, for me, it's criminal. It was negligence. It was, he wanted to be elected president again. So he said, oh, there's no problem. COVID's nothing. Don't worry. It'll be gone in 2 weeks, because he didn't want the stock market to go down. And he wanted to be president again. I mean, he's unbelievably ridiculous. Glory boy. He's and I like writing about things that are real, and Steve Earle lives around the corner from me in Greenwich Village. We are neighbors. I see him on the street these past few years all the time, and he's great. And it was so great to sing with Steve. Yeah,
One
yeah,
of the songs that probably changed my life was Galway Girl from Steve. So
yeah.
I still remember that. But talking about, yes, these life experiences, these are
Mm,
so important. You've been into the music biz, so for so many years, decades,
mm,
obviously, and you met so many talented people. But apart from that, it's interesting if even a difficult situation like the pandemic is actually able to surprise you, to
yeah,
cut you like in the stomach, saying, hey, you probably never thought about writing an album about an empty ghost town, New York City. So
Mm.
in in a certain way, it's fascinating that we still surprise ourselves to what happens to the world. Obviously, we
Yeah,
probably would love to be surprised by, positive and good things,
I know. I
but
know.
records, probably some of my favorite records are not written because good things happened.
Yeah, I love rock and roll for that. I mean, I like music that's meaningful. Whether it's a celebration of love, or let's burn the house down because it has problems we need to fix. Whether it's politics or climate, or like the other day in Pakistan, 1/3 of Pakistan was underwater. I mean, what? There will always be things happening in this life that impact people. And I like music that celebrates life, that celebrates compassion, passion, love, understanding, because life is a mystery. You know, now with the new telescope, the Webb telescope that the US put up, this telescope, they can see into the solar system. Like, so far, it's like, what's going on here? Wait. If you take a small pin and you hold it up to the sky, and there's a small point, and then there's this photograph. Oh, this is what's in that little pin, and there's thousands of galaxies with million. I mean, it's so big, and you wonder, well, what's going on? I don't know, but it's pretty interesting. And I like when rock and roll can deal with that, whether it's Elvis Presley singing Jailhouse Rock, or the Ramones singing Sheena's a Punk Rocker, or Springsteen singing Born in the USA, or whatever. I like songs with meaning. Bob Dylan singing Like a Rolling Stone. I mean, when I was a teenager, uh, my friends and I, the music of the time in the mid '60s was incredible. I could turn the radio on and hear Like a Rolling Stone, a 6-minute song, this powerful, incredible. Like, what's that? He just opened up a whole new world. Dylan did. I mean, Dylan is the Shakespeare of rock and roll. And I'm sure there's someone else coming along will change people's lives. Life is real. We're alive. And music, contemporary music, people seeing this now. Anybody watching this, anybody can write a song, whether it's good or bad. Tell your story. Say what you feel. Be honest. Share your feelings, and inspire us. That's what I would say. Inspire us. Inspire Andrea. Inspire me. Come on. Why not? Working.
I am totally inspired by these lives examples, but at the same time, I can barely imagine what it's like for you. Like, you've been traveled the world so many times, and I can't even imagine how many stories you heard. Because each and every time you play a show, and then we're gonna go to the shows things, but each and every time you play a show, you get the chance to actually see and meet someone from the crowd, and each and
Yeah.
every one of them standing in the crowd is there for a reason, maybe there for a different reason.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt like, oh god, I heard so many stories, I don't have enough music to tell them all?
I don't feel that. I'm just grateful for every time I tell a story, that a song comes to me. Many times it's happened. Like, I'm happy to be back in Italy because I have so many friends I've met over the years. I come here every year. I have a home here now. I got married to Christina here 2 years ago in north of Milan, and I have so many friends I want to see, say hello to, and many times I remember, in the States, different countries. Sometimes people will say, I'll sign after the show. I say hello and sign CDs, and people have said to me, my friend, I never heard of you before, but my friend said you should come see this guy. You'll feel better. My mother died, or my heart's broken because of some reason, and my friend says, oh, go see Willie Nile. You will feel better. And I'm surprised how many times people will say, I feel so much. Thank you for the music. Thank you for the songs. Thank you for these moments where I can feel better about being alive. You know, I want my music inspires me. You know, when if it inspires other people, that moves me so much. So yeah, yeah.
It's a very deep feeling. It's a very important thing, and I'm glad that in my life experience I met so many talented musicians just like you that have this kind of feeling
Mm.
with the crowd. But at the same time, when I consider today's market, I ask myself so many times, do we have still room for this kind of approach in music, or we just have to consider about like more streams, more sold out shows, and stuff like that. What it's like for you that you've been in the business for your whole life? How do you deal with this brand new market? Keep on asking for numbers and maybe asking for less feelings.
You know, for me, um, I remember when I first was moved from Buffalo, New York. I grew up in Buffalo, New York, on the border of Canada. And when I got out of the university, I went to New York City. I moved to New York City to try to make music, to make records, to make a career making music. And some people said to me, "Oh, there's so much competition." Oh, and I went, "I don't care. I'm just going to tell my stories." And all my years, I've never cared. I'm not. I mean, I would love to be stinking rich, but I never cared about big fame. It's not important to me. I'm more concerned about quality than quantity. You know, a great song is a great song. If it sells 10 million records or if it sells 5 records, if it's a great song and it moves me, or if someone is moved, for me, that's enough. That's success. So if there's more new ways of discovering things, making music, I'm okay. I love the independent music scene. I love the internet because some young kid, some 16, 17-year-old kid with a guitar and a pain in his heart can or whatever feeling, you can get that music out for, people could, so you can share it with friends, try to put it, you can get the word out about what you're feeling in your soul. It's wonderful. It's fantastic. You don't need a big record company with millions of dollars, you know. So I love the new. I'm open to new ways. I'm okay with it. I love it.
And that's very important, to keep that kind of balance. So, like,
Mm. Yeah.
I've done things in the past, but I'm still here making music, and that's a very important point. um, there's probably a question. If we go deep into your biography, and we see the collaboration, we see so many albums from 1980 to 2022, because you're about to release something new, like you said. uh, we
Couple of
can
weeks.
probably we can easily imagine which were the milestones of your career. But for Willie Nile, which are the milestones, the most important moments, if you can name some of that in your career, that probably are not the one that we could think about? Because okay, I can think about the tour with the Who. That time you tour with the E Street Band, but probably there was a different point of view from your point of view.
It's been such a fascinating journey. You know, the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, the deep. You know, for me, uh, well, meeting Christina, I met Christina touring in Italy. She came to take photographs of my show. She didn't know who I was. She didn't care that I was an American rocker, singer songwriter. We just took pictures and we met and we fell in love. I would say that maybe. I mean, it's clearly a special moment. Um, there's so many. I've been really lucky. You know, I was able to tour with the Who in 1980 across the United States. The Who. Every night I could see the Who. And in May this year, I played with the Who in Woodstock in May 28th, after 42 years, and it was 15,000 people. It was incredible. And I toured with Ringo Starr I sang with Ringo Starr. I got to sing with one of the Beatles. And he was so nice. Ringo, he was so genuino and so classy. And I got to sing with Ringo Starr. Bruce Springsteen. You know, I've sung with Bruce many times, and he's a great, great friend and a great, great man and a great rocker. And one time he invited me to come to Giant Stadium, 70,000 people in New Jersey, going crazy. And I sang 2 songs. I went with Bruce. He says, "Come on up and sing." I sang with Bruce, and it's like it was so loud. You can't imagine how loud. I did it in 2003 at Shea Stadium in New York, and it's so much fun to make rock and roll with your friends, whether it's 70,000 people, you know, or 4 guys in a small club. Wow, I mean, obviously 70,000 people and Bruce was pretty incredible, you know, and the Who, and I've been so very lucky, you know. There's so much of it, you know. It's hard to find 1 or 2 or 3. There's so many times when touring with Lucinda Williams or Richard Thompson, singing with Steve Earle. My good friends. I'm doing the show. One of the shows we're doing. I'm touring with Marco Libido. He's a great Italian blues guitarist and a dear friend. We're doing these shows, you know, in Bergamo on Thursday night, Friday in Rimini at the what's it called? The Glory Days Festival. 27 years, Glory Days. 27 years, you know, and it's on September 27th. I think it's Bruce's birthday, someone, I think. And the musicians that will join me, Marco Libido, you know, Rigo Righetti, you know, Mel Previte, Robbie Perovi. I played with them. We toured in Italy in 1992 or 3 or 4, some early 90s. Old friends, rockers. So for me, rock and roll is timeless. If it's quality, it can be timeless. You know, I love being in Italy. I'm so happy. There's a waterfall near here, vicino, close, that Da Vinci drew, Leonardo da Vinci. And it's near here. I go and I look at it and I think about Da Vinci. So for me, rock and roll is like that. It's timeless, and I still feel the same passion. I must be crazy. My father is 104 years old. How do you say it in Italian? 104.
104.
And in November, 105, he'll be 105, and he's okay. You know, knock on wood. So I'm still rocking. I'm still feeling the magic of music. When you can play with people, sing to people, experience the joy together. That's why I love it. And in Italy, the fans, pretty cool. Yeah.
Talking about the shows, let's do a quick remind. Willy sarà il 22 settembre al Druso di Bergamo, quindi dopodomani, mentre il 23 settembre al Glory Days di Rimini, come citava prima, il 24 settembre al Giardino di Lugagnano e il 25 settembre al Corner Live di Mareno di Piave. So these are the shows you're about to play for this tour. You know what it's like for us on the other side of the ocean. When we hear those kind of stories, I heard your stories. I heard Jesse Malin stories. I had a bunch of gigs with Marky Ramone, and I heard his stories. It seems like, you know, the musical scene in the US is so small, and everybody loves each other, and it's so easy to get connection. But what's the real deal beside that?
Davvero, it's true. I think that the music, for me, as I get older, I enjoy more and more the camaraderie of friends, you know, men and women that make music. I respect the people that do it, that gave their life and took the risk, the chance. What are you going to do with your life? Oh, I'm going to get a guitar and I'm going to try to sing into a microphone and make records and pay my bills and pay my rent and raise children. It's a big risk. and I respect very much and admire my fellow, rock and rollers, musicians, musicians, the people who play music. I respect. It's more fun now than ever, and it is a small community. I mean, can you imagine? Steve Earle is my neighbor. Patti Smith. Patti Smith lives 2 streets from me. I see her all on the street. Little Steven lives 3 streets from me. It's like a small community. And for me, it's magic. Greenwich Village, New York, it's still molto interessante. It's still so interesting. And the street is the street. For me, rock and roll is the street. The thing I like most about music, from Like a Rolling Stone, way back when I was a teenager to now, this photo here. His name is Daniel. He was homeless. I think he's gone now, but Christina took this photo. He lived in a building next to Steve Earle. Steve Earle knew him, and he was very quiet. He would drink, and sleep, and he lived 2 years in a doorway. Rain, snow. To me, and I would see him, and I would give him some money and say hello, and he was always very quiet, shy, and Christina got this incredible photo. That's rock and roll to me, and that's real life to me. And what music, and why I'm so passionate, and why I still care, is because this happens. This was like 2 years ago. 3 or 4 years ago. And there are still homeless people in my neighborhood I know. Some crazy, some just poor. And you can write about stuff like life is still real, and music can translate that, help us understand it. And yeah, Daniel, what a great photograph. Fantastic, no?
Bellissima, bellissima, bellissima. It's quite famous. It's quite a famous photo, this one. I've seen it different times.
It's on the cover of my one of the 4 photos on the cover of my album, Children of Paradise. And 2 of those people are homeless, and 2 live in small rooms, but all New York street characters. And for me, that's interesting. That's life, And from that one extreme to the high mountains of love, from living and dying. We're here all living and dying. That's why music can mean something. The people that come out to the shows, I can't wait for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this week to play. See old friends, share music, tell stories, laugh, drink. There is wine in Italy, I've heard.
Yes, a few.
Yeah.
Considering, this is the last question, considering the fact that what we're doing now, we're creating a content that will be shared to spread new music to someone who never heard Willie Nile, or to bring Willie Nile to his fan and stuff like that. So many artists, especially during the lockdown and these last 2 years, produce documentaries about themselves or about the things that they learn through their career in music and arts in general. If someone come up to you, maybe, I don't know, Amazon, Netflix, or whatever, independent directors coming to you, we want to give you times and a company to shoot a documentary about something that you learn through your life experience with music, what would be the content? Which will be the content?
It's funny you say that. There's a director in Austria now making a documentary about me. The last 5 years, on and off, and it's coming along. It's a story of an artist who never gave up, an artist who still believes in New York City, from the CBGB's days to now. And I was very skeptical in the beginning. I thought, I don't need to be on a movie. Why me? Why me? And when the director said, because you never gave up and you're doing your best work, and it's a story of inspiration, with New York City as a background. I believe, I believe in, I believe in the human race. I think we can do better as people to help each other. I mean, I hope one day there'll be no wars and men and women can help each other. Be compassionate, be humile, humble, caring. And so I think the documentary hopefully will show some of that. My father is in it. He's 104. He's the star of the movie, I think. Yeah.
That's great, because we need more things like that, and obviously we need more records, we need more gigs. We've been suffering in the last 2 years with few shows, so we need to have artists get back on the road, and you'll be back on the road in the next days. So please go to see Willie Nile. Can I consider you my friend now?
Andre, yes, thank you. I can, yes, absolutely. I think you and I could talk for hours about many things, music, politics, life. So yes, I'm happy to meet you and become friends with you. And I thank you for the time to spread the word about the music. Thank you, my friend. You're clearly a true believer in music and rock and roll. And thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for the music. See you very soon, Willie. Take care and enjoy our beautiful country. This chat was bellissima.
Muchas gracias. El placer es mío. The pleasure is mine. Thank you. Piacere mio.
Ciao. Ciao, grazie. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.